And today I'll be diving into the factors behind the decline of墾丁, once a shining star of Taiwan's tourism industry. Over the past decade, the number of visitors to墾丁has plummeted by a staggering 80% since 2014. Welcome to today's Funday investigation. This is your host, Johnny. And today I'll be diving into the factors behind the decline of墾丁, once a shining star of Taiwan's tourism industry. Over the past decade, the number of visitors to墾丁has plummeted by a staggering 80% since 2014. It's a steep drop from the 8.38 million visitors in 2014 to just about 1.33 million in the first 7 months of 2024. It's likely that墾丁won't even see the 2 million visitors by the end of this year. So, what happened? Many point the finger at rising costs. Hotels and restaurants in墾丁have become more expensive, pushing potential visitors to look for alternatives. And with the rise of budget airlines traveling to nearby international destinations like Okinawa in Japan, Da Nang in Vietnam, or Bali in Indonesia has become more convenient than ever. It's no wonder that墾丁has lost much of its competitive edge. But there is more to the story than just the high prices. According to Professor Jia Chen from Shixing University's Department of Tourism,墾丁missed out on crucial opportunity to tap into the international market. While Southeast Asian islands have been actively building their tourism economies,墾丁has remained stagnant. And now the space for growth is shrinking. One of the most recent blows to墾丁reputation was the closure of the famous restaurant Smoky Joe's. This sparked yet another wave of public discussion about why墾丁is no longer the hotspot it once was. And it's not just about the prices. There is a lack of international appeal that's been holding墾丁back. Let's look at the facts. Despite墾丁rich natural resources, including coral reefs, tropical forests, and stunning beaches, it has never truly capitalized on its potential to attract international tourists. Most efforts have been focused on domestic travelers and occasionally visitors from Hong Kong and Macau. But this has left墾丁ill-prepared to compete on a global stage. Years ago,墾丁had the potential to break into the international market. However, due to a lack of foresight and ambition, that potential was never realized. For instance, Shaogang Airport in Kaohsiung could have been a gateway for charter flights bringing in international tourists, boosting墾丁visibility. But we didn't take advantage of this opportunity. Another critical issue is the lack of international hotel brands in墾丁. Until recently, the area had very few, and even now, the development of these international hotels and resorts has been slow. This delay has further weakened墾丁appeal to foreign visitors. Why is this? The reasons for the lack of international hotels in墾can be summarized as follows. Number 1, geographic and environmental constraints.墾is located at the southern tip of Taiwan with limited land availability and strict environmental regulations. This restricts the construction of large international hotels. The local government prioritizes nature conservation, increasing development costs and complexity. 2. Insufficient market demand.墾mainly attracts domestic tourists with relatively few international visitors. The return on investment for international hotels is low due to the lack of substantial market demand. 3. Diverse local accommodation options.墾already has a variety of small resorts, guest houses, and local hotels that meet the needs of tourists, reducing the necessity for international hotel chains. 4. Inadequate transportation and infrastructure.墾transportation and infrastructure are relatively underdeveloped. International hotels typically require well-developed infrastructure to support their operations, which is another factor limiting their expansion in the area. So, why has Kanding fallen behind while its competitors have surged ahead? Much of it comes down to missed opportunities and a failure to recognize the potential of international market. The tourism landscape in Southeast Asia has been rapidly expanding, leaving墾丁with less room to grow. And while Taiwan has concentrated its resources on industries like semiconductors, the tourism industry has been neglected. It's a stark contrast to places like Japan, which has invested heavily in tourism to offset the challenges posed by an aging population and declining domestic demand. Japan and South Korea have both successfully leveraged their cultural export to boost tourism, serving as models for how soft power can translate into economic gains. Japan's Cool Japan strategy, launched in 2010, aimed to market the nation's cultural assets, from anime and film to video games, to attract global visitors. The strategy has not only showcased Japan's meticulous hospitality and gourmet cuisine, but also drawn legions of fans to iconic locations featuring works by Hayao Miyazaki and Makoto Shinkai. Meanwhile, South Korea's focus on cultural revitalization following the 1998 Asian financial crisis led to the global rise of K-dramas and K-pop under its cultural nation strategy. This cultural wave has significantly bolstered South Korea's tourism industry, proving the powerful connection between cultural outreach and increased tourist influx. Both countries highlight the potential for cultural industries to drive tourism and economic growth, offering valuable lessons for nations looking to enhance their global presence. Wu Feng, a Turkish social media influencer in Taiwan, highlighted 3 crucial points about墾丁tourism appeal. First, he noted that墾丁was not originally designed as a tourist destination, leading to less development compared to renowned international spots. To foreigners,墾Street resembles a typical night market, which may not encourage significant spending. Second, the town's architecture and streets lack distinctiveness, leaving visitors unimpressed despite well-decorated accommodations. Although墾is beautiful with rich natural scenery, it needs better packaging to attract tourists. Third, Wu Feng emphasized that墾lacks a clear image and unique attractions, making it hard to attract international visitors. In contrast, Southeast Asian destinations like Thailand are more appealing due to their distinctive style, unique features, and competitive pricing, drawing more foreign tourists each year. In conclusion,墾decline is a result of missed opportunities, rising costs, and a lack of international branding. While the region still has the natural beauty that once made it a top destination, it needs a new strategy to regain its former glory. The future of墾tourism industry will depend on its ability to attract international visitors, invest in high-quality infrastructure, and balance development with environmental protection. Otherwise,墾may continue to lose its place on the tourism map.
月付299，及时观看每日国际新闻，听读多元文化主题文章，欣赏各式影音节目，欢唱流行音乐，无需绑约，随时可停止订阅。Funday 是一个灵活自在的英语学习平台，每篇文章都是一场知识的探险，让你每天都有新的启发。立即订阅，开始你的学习之旅吧！